Hello everyone and welcome to the N.A.R.C.N Network. Today on the N.A.R.C.N Network we're going to be presenting episode 239 on the channel, and this is going to be one of the new videos I'm going to be doing of the new batch of stuff. As you guys may know, some of you, I took a break for a little while a couple of months ago, but we're going to get back at the channel now and back providing scientific information about narcissism and all the related disorders that go along with narcissism. Hopefully you guys will derive some knowledge from this, and this was the whole goal I had when I started the N.A.R.C.N Network channel on YouTube. So the title of episode 239 is "Can or Will the Narcissist Ever Change?" And this is basically like a part 3 of the videos. Well, we'll just be discussing, whether or not the narcissist ever can actually change. Now, there's a few different viewpoints towards this going around amongst narcissistic experts. Excuse me. Some narcissistic experts will say that narcissists can indeed change. But I'm going to tell you, over the past 4 years of research I've done with my own narcissist and with the science of narcissism, and I've studied tons of big experts that exist in this field, and my basic idea behind this is that I don't think narcissists can ever actually change. What they can do is they can reform themselves, they can learn about their narcissism, they can, seek therapy for this to gain control of their narcissism so that they don't harm other people, and perhaps so that they don't live a life of a narcissist themselves. But, narcissism is, and again, this is depending on who you look at. Different experts on narcissism have different ideas. For instance, Dr. Ramani doesn't believe that narcissism is a disorder, and if you know who Dr. Ramani is, that's great. If you don't, go look her up on the internet. She's a narcissistic expert, a very high level one, and has lots of great information on narcissism. But Dr. Ramani believes that narcissism isn't really a disorder at all. It's basically, it's kind of like a behavioral thing that narcissists choose to do. And they're conscious of their choice to do it, and they don't really, have the, I guess, the grace of being looked upon that this is a disorder that, like any other type of disorder that affects people. But then you have other experts like Professor Sam Vaknin, who is the godfather of or one of the godfathers of narcissism and research into this. He himself is a high-level narcissist, and he basically coined the idea, and a lot of the information about narcissism over the past 40 years has come from him and his study of his own narcissism and his study of whatever psychological disorders he has related to his narcissism. He does not believe the same thing as Dr. Ramani. He believes that narcissism is a disorder, just like being bipolar is a disorder, just like having antisocial personality disorder is a disorder, just like having dissociative disorder is a disorder. He believes that all these things are in the disorder class of things, and that people who have these things often cannot help themselves with the way that they behave. Now, there's countless other narcissistic experts who have the same idea that he does. And, of course, there's countless narcissistic experts on the internet that are reputable, that are very scientific about what goes on with narcissism and all the behaviors related to that. And in the future here, I will be reposting some videos I've done over the past couple of years on narcissism back on the N.A.R.C.N network, so you guys can see some of the stuff that I've been studying over the past 4 years, and actually see what my viewpoints are towards narcissism, and also what some other experts' viewpoints are towards narcissism. But when it comes to the factor of whether or not a narcissist will clean up their act or reform themselves, or whether or not you can look at a narcissist as being cured of narcissism, no. I personally don't believe, and this is only my own belief from studying the science of narcissism, I don't believe narcissists are ever cured of their narcissism. And narcissists that actually reform themselves make up for less than 1% of narcissists. Less than 1% of narcissists ever do the necessary steps to get themselves in a position where they have reformed themselves and tried to get away from their narcissistic ways. And we have lots of narcissists on the internet and on YouTube who have channels where they talk about themselves being narcissists and talk about their everyday lives, and also offer lots of actual good information into narcissism and how to avoid becoming embroiled with a narcissist. And if you look on YouTube, you can find tons of these people. And we may actually in the future broach a couple of these channels, and I may talk about a few of these narcissists in some upcoming videos so you guys have an idea who I'm actually talking about here. But for you guys out there who are currently researching narcissism or have been researching it for some time like myself, you guys may know some of these individuals that I'm actually talking about. But when it comes down to whether a narcissist can actually be cured of their narcissism, no, I don't believe this is the case at all. I believe that they can reform themselves. I believe that they can get control. I actually currently know some narcissists off the N.A.R.C.N network who have gotten control of their lives and gotten control of their behavior to a point where they're not making any attempts to blight people in their lives, or to, or to conduct their narcissistic ways with individuals around them. They're conscious of what they're doing. They're trying to take the steps to change the way they behave with people. And a lot of the narcissists that I'm talking about here that I know are being relatively successful with this, not only through their own their own understanding of their condition, but through also, being in contact with me off the N.A.R.C.N network, being in contact with other experts, and also seeking professional therapy or therapists that have specialties in these disorders that are helping them through these things. And this is causing some of these individuals I know who were narcissists to actually reform themselves back into a way that they can function much better in everyday life, being a narcissist, and not mess with people with their narcissistic ways. And to those people out there, I say, this is awesome, guys. Keep at it. You're doing a great job. You guys know who you are if I'm talking to you. And, you have my full support in trying to get yourselves away from being a narcissist and from trying to live that narcissistic type lifestyle. But there are other narcissists that I've had experiences with, and this includes some of my own narcissists where after the factor of them coming out with me, or me discovering that they were indeed narcissists that I was dealing with, some of these individuals may have sought therapy to improve their situation. Some of these individuals indeed refused to even recognize that they were narcissists. They came up with other excuses as to what may be particularly wrong with them. But the sad factor is that they are indeed narcissists. They may have other conditions intertwined in there, like being bipolar or having some other type of disorder in the confines of this, for instance, dissociative disorder, and things of this nature. But they are indeed narcissistic individuals. If you look at the science of narcissism and you understand that when you have bipolar disorder, often you have narcissistic disorder attached with this. Often you have anxiety disorder attached with this. Often you have a lot of other things attached to this. Often narcissists will have dissociative disorder attached with this. Once you read into the science and learn about the science of all these things, you start to see that some people who may consider themselves to be bipolar individuals actually do have narcissism, and they do behave in those ways with their individuals. And this is true of some of the narcissists I've had experiences with in my life, both in both in friendships and also in romantic relationships. And again, for myself, I don't personally feel that narcissists will ever be cured of their narcissism. They just learn to control their narcissism if they wish to, and they learn to be better people and not affect other people with their narcissism, and this is how they improve their lives and how they improve their lives for people around them. But again, only about 1% of narcissists actually do that. Most of them deny what they are. Most of them refuse to accept that they're a narcissist. Most of them will deflect that attention away from them if you call them out as being a narcissist. They just don't want to acknowledge that this is what they are, and this is why narcissism is so hard to treat and so hard to improve from, because let's face it, nobody really wants to be, you know, singled out as a narcissist or have anything like that go on in their lives. But sometimes these people have become narcissists through lots of traumatic events in their lives, lots of abuse, lots of neglect, or in turn just being treated like a golden child, which, as we know and have talked about on the N.A.R.C.N network before, putting a child on a pedestal and giving them everything they want and giving them no rules and nothing to follow in their life as far as a disciplinary action or stuff. This can create a narcissist as well, because we have all kinds of evidence from narcissistic experts that this is the case also. So you can create a narcissist in many different ways, and again, we've talked about this on the N.A.R.C.N network before. You can find information on the N.A.R.C.N network that I'm going to start reposting again about this particular thing that affects narcissists and the way narcissists are created. So I do implore you to look that up on the N.A.R.C.N network in the coming weeks. There will be some information going back up about those particular things, and you can look into that if you see fit to do so. So that was my basic idea here for episode 239. I just wanted to, state, whether or not we think a narcissist can reform themselves, or whether or not they'll ever change. They can change, but that change is not a cure. It's not a cure to anything that's going on with them. It's not curing their narcissistic problems. They're just going to learn how to control themselves and how to control their narcissism, and how to get a hold of it, and hopefully not damage other people with the ways that they are in their life. So that was episode 239. I'd like to say to you guys, please stay tuned. I got other content coming up on the N.A.R.C.N network over the next couple of weeks, as well as me reposting some other stuff from earlier on in the history of the N.A.R.C.N network. Please stay tuned. Have a great day, and I'll see you really soon in some upcoming videos.